One of the best teams in the history of the National Football League. One of the best quarterbacks
Commanders
in the history of the National Football League. The Commanders Redskins football team have found their guy, best quarterback in the history of the franchise. -3, -170 on the money line. 43.5 is the total. I don't. This game sucks. I want to fade Washington because they're obviously at a very elevated price right now. Everyone's betting on them. They're a public team, as you saw in the graphic. Browns are on the back-to-back road spot. They've always been a bad road team.
They've always been a bad team. I mean, the Browns
defense doesn't even show up on the road though.
Browns can't slow down the run. Luckily for them, Brian Robinson Jr. isn't practicing. He's dealing with the knee issue. Browns defense overall hasn't been horrible. You would imagine someone figures out how to defend some of the air raid concepts that Cliff and Washington are doing. Jaden Daniels, 82.1% completion percentage through 4 starts, the best not only of any rookie ever, but of any quarterback. Period. He broke the record of Brady in 2007. So maybe Jaden Daniels is better than Tom Brady, Ron.
I mean, he certainly was better in college. That's not much of a debate. I don't know. I mean, Nick Chubb practicing.
David Njoku, as CJ likes to call him, he's been going. I mean, I feel like
the offensive line for the Browns still terrible.
Yeah,
injured,
even more injured. They lost another offensive lineman. I feel like I don't win either way with this game because if I bet the Browns, you're like, you're really going to take Deshaun Watson. And then if you take the Commanders, you're like, oh, come on. You saw this regression coming a mile away.
I do think
they were due for a regression.
The idea that we get a Deshaun Watson good passing game against this defense makes sense. The Washington defense showed up in a kind of a miraculous sense last week against Kyler, and they have not been good, but they looked good for a short stint in that game. So I like, as much as it's horrible to say, I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a good game, Sean. I think they're going to be able to run the ball.
You know what? I'll keep my super sharp hat on, and I'll go with the Cleveland Browns. Fade in the commies.
Yeah, and like worth noting, if you are for the fantasy purposes, it does sound like Nick Chubb returning week 8 is a thing. So he has been, even though he's practiced. A lot of people see the aggregator saying Nick Chubb practicing. He's already been ruled out for week 5.